I remember leaning over on my countertop one day on my kitchen island, and I was like, man, can I keep doing this? And like I really considered like quitting and throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
And then like I sat there and I thought for a minute, and I was like, yo, I didn't come this far to only come this far. Worst case scenario, I'll go homeless. I'll go steal cardboard from the back of HEB and make bandit signs all day. I'm gonna make this shit work. I'm gonna do this, or it's gonna kill me. Like that's it. There's only two options. I'm going to succeed, or I will die. Bottom line. This acquisitions over here.
Okay, it's acquisition.
Yep. Over on this side, and then over here. This is disposition. Dispo.
What's up?
Yeah.
So you got 3 people in Dispo.
Yeah.
Most people just have 1.
Right. Well,
Right.
We got a lot of work to do. So.
Got a lot of hard work to do.
Yeah.
So y'all are still in deals all over the nation.
Yeah, you can see the board. I mean, here's some of the markets that we've done. Like, you can see the pins. Just all these different places all over the country.
Damn. So you literally got one in all the major states, like with big cities.
Yeah, I mean, even Hawaii, like, just all over the place, coast to coast.
Dude, that is crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, do you have some in Mexico, bro?
Nah, nothing.
Oh, it looks like it's in Mexico.
It's basically Mexico down in the valley.
You don't count it out though, like I mean,
Yeah.
So go buy a house for like $10 real quick.
Yeah.
Airbnb it.
Right.
Are you doing outbound or are you doing old school pounding the phones, calling people?
well, I mean, when I first started, it starts off with, like you got to build relationships with people, but I mean, it just depends on the area. So like we're in all 50 states, so like boom, California, I know who to call. Like certain parts of that, DFW, Texas, Florida, like I already know who to call on.
Joseph, because he's been doing this so long, he's got VIPs in pretty much most of the major regions of the country.
Oh, okay.
Right? But he's built up a really powerful Rolodex, but at the same time, like, we've got some pretty sophisticated strategies to get these properties moved. I mean,
Well, I mean, it was kind of like you're just like came in, grinded out every day. I mean, it wasn't just like coming in and like getting lucky, like, oh, I found the top buyer. No, it was like calling like thousands and thousands of people, like pounding out, like talking to individual who, and then also building the craft of like how to talk to people, right? Like now I can call like 3 realtors and I can tell you like, are they serious or not? Like, are they gonna help me? Or if you talk to the cash buyer, like, yo, are you for real or not? So that just comes with the experience on it too. I mean, they're all people. They're all the same. Like, there's no different from a deal. It's all money.
Right.
Money's universal. So
Mm-hmm.
everybody's talking money.
And just like the last question, just real quick, is like,
Yeah.
how do you close a buyer, not ever meeting them, not ever going to the property? Like, what's the process for just closing the guy to send the earnest money? Like, how do you do it?
You build trust in them. It's not a matter of like, I mean, you can easily build trust like face to face, but like, I mean, if I'm over the phone and I can convince you to do something like, hey, sign this contract, it's just being relatable, like person to person.
Uh-huh.
Like, hey, like if you were going to buy this house, like this is how I'd want it done. Basically, in the end of the day, you have a pain, I have a solution to your pain.
Yeah.
And like, it's just convincing that like I have a better solution than these guys.
right. I mean, these guys are, people that we're selling to are fix and flippers, buy and hold investors, right? And what is their job? To go out and get more property so they can feed their families. So when you're talking to them, if you've got a product that they want, then it's just, nursing them through that process. Okay, here's all the information. Here's all the photos.
Mm-hmm.
I've got you scheduled to go in today at 2:30. As soon as you finish up at the house, give me a call, right? And then once they see the house, they put eyes on it, they know the numbers, they're going to want to make an offer on it. So,
Right.
yeah.
And the reason I just asked that, because I'm only in San Antonio and like Austin and surrounding cities, so all my buyers know us. Like, I actually make our buyers come to the office and they like race for each property. So like we sell them in like an hour and highest and best. So it's like a different method. Like
It's just a different mindset,
Yeah. So I want this mindset because I want to go all over the nation,
Yeah. I mean, it's got its pros and cons, but overall, we do pretty well with it. So
does the earnest money go to the title company? Or
yeah, we don't want to handle any of the earnest money
okay.
deposits. Yeah.
But what about if they back out and they don't want to sign a release? How do you handle that?
When you're selling solid deals, and you're dealing with solid buyers, it's rare that happens.
Okay.
So
We also go at it with, we're not selling deals, we're selling relationships. part. Like, yo, I mean, that's one key aspect for buyers is like, hey, like this one deal, like, yeah, you can, you know, make your quick buck on it, or, you know, we could both be open, honest, get the deal. You make some, I make some, and then we get another one and another one, and then like we just pound it out.
Joseph's always talking about the next deal that we're gonna do together, right?
I mean, but like their pain is they once they do this one, they need another one. And so they're always asking, hey, you got another one? I'm constantly getting calls. Hey, do you have another one here? You got it? You got anything coming up in this area? And it's because like one, they made money on our deals. You know, like we're not bringing them like deals with no meat on the bone. They're like, hey, I made good money. I want more. What you got? I'm talking money. It's universal. So
Right. So that incentivizes them to perform.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly. So keep working with you.
Correct. That's Riley. Riley is JR.
Yes,
Yeah.
nice to meet you. What's up, man? How you doing? Good?
Good. What's up?
What's up, my dog? How you doing?
Going, man?
Travis is JR.
JR, bro. Nice to meet you.
That's my right hand.
man. Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Travis is he's like the engine that makes acquisitions work. He does all the follow-up, so like if we didn't have him, this fucking place would fall.
Yeah?
The acquisitions would be struggling. Yeah.
Okay, I just hired a guy like that, dude, and it's been helping like crazy. So like you're the closer, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So I've heard some stories about him. Like he's been like I heard. What did you do last year alone? Like over $1 million by yourself.
About 1.2, yeah.
By
1.2,
yourself?
Yeah.
Man, that's solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, he was right there with me, helping me crank it out too. So, yeah, man, that's the thing is acquisition. You can waste a lot of time talking to the wrong people.
Right.
So, we got a big database. You need someone to tell you, hey, this one might be worth looking into. So that's what we got.
See, I like this because this is the setup I just got.
Right.
So I got my king closer, bro. Bro, last month he did like 190 by himself.
Wow.
By himself, bro. With no help. Like he was just going through these. So I just hired him somebody to help him. What do you think is like the key to closing these deals over the phone? Like what would you say? Like just one tip, like
Man, honestly, it's just being empathetic. I mean, honestly, just listening to what kind of problem they have and really just solving that problem. So I'm going to give you some options. I'm not going to try to sell you, and I'm going to let you make the decision by yourself that we're the best option.
no pressure.
No pressure.
So like you kind of just put like I can do this and this. Here's what I can offer you.
Exactly.
And while everybody else is like trying to pound them to get that signature.
Exactly. I'm building rapport. I'm listening. I'm remembering birthdays, family names.
Yeah.
I'm using their name. That's some big important. So these are real people. So they want to be heard. They want to be listened to. And once you get that down, you're closing.
I see. So what do you think? So like when you're talking to these people, out of like 1 out of how many are you closing?
What did we do last? It was like 1 in 13 or something.
1 in 12, 1 in 14.
Yeah, that's kind of my range right there.
1 in 13?
1 in 13
That's solid.
is my range. So
That and then Travis knows who to spend time on, who not to spend time on. So he's not wasting time with people that, you know,
Tire kickers
and things like that. And he's like a human calculator, so like Travis can calculate an ARV like real quick, which it saves a ton of time because where do we get bottlenecked in acquisitions? It's trying to get people on the phone and underwriting the properties. We got an expert at that, and then we got an expert at actually closing the deals. So we have another guy. He actually lives down in Costa Rica, and he's doing what Travis is doing, not at his level yet, but he also does the same thing, and we're working with him to get him up to speed. So having people to help facilitate like that is huge.
Yeah. So how long has he been with you?
How long? Like a couple of years now.
Oh, so you're a veteran.
Yeah, this is Brandon's brother. So,
Oh, you're Brandon's brother?
Yeah.
Oh man, where's that crazy guy at?
and we got Brandon's office, CEO office over here. Yeah.
Work.
What's up? We got work. Good and I.
What's up, man? How you doing?
You doing good?
Good.
What up?
Hey, this is so he's your CEO, right?
Mm-hmm.
But does he work?
Nah,
'Cause
not
I
at all.
don't-
You don't fucking work.
Every time
Let
I
me
see
see what
this
he's doing
guy,
there. He's just looking at some property pictures and Podia. Nah, he ain't working.
every time I see this guy, he's in Miami or he's in Dallas or he's with us partying.
Brandon works harder than probably anybody, hands down. Period. When he's at home, he's working. When he's at work, he's working. I mean, this guy, he didn't become CEO for no reason. Brandon earned every stripe in the office. He's done every single job in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you actually started in acquisitions or what? Dispositions?
I started on RVM.
Yeah, he was taking inbound RVM.
Oh snap! That's the worst.
Blasting to his cell phone.
Oh damn! No press 1, press 2, just
Nothing.
everything. Oh my god.
Yeah, we just melted his phone, and then.
Dang.
But you know what, Brandon, he took it like a champ. He didn't complain, and he did what he could with it. And then really quickly, he got moved into helping out on acquisitions. Then he senior acquisitions, and then as we brought more people in, he just kind of took that natural leadership. And then started helping out on Dispo. He was COO of the company for like 2.5 years, and then eventually CEO. So
how long has he been with? How long you been here for?
It's like 4.5 years.
4.5 years, really.
Yeah.
You been in business? Going on 5. How long have you been in business for?
since 2014.
So what's that? Going on 7 years?
Yeah.
Okay. So you've been here since the beginning, pretty much.
Almost since the beginning.
From the beginning, yeah. We didn't know what the hell we were doing. I can go get things rolling, I can get things started, but Brandon's the one that comes in and fixes all my messes and gets it actually.
That's what I need.
Optimized. I can get a bunch of activity going. I can make money, but then to actually streamline it, make it optimized, turn it into a business.
Yeah.
Brandon's the one that can actually, concrete everything to make sure that we're doing it properly, we're profitable.
Organize it.
Organize it. Yep. So, I mean, without that, this place would be a train wreck. And then we do a lot of trainings out here. We got like a little area where we'll facilitate some training, throw them up on the 70-inch flat screen.
Oh, okay.
We had this entire place full last summer, and then what I did is I cut all my B players. What you think is like, I get more leads, I get more people, and it'll equal more money, but it doesn't equate that way. What ends up happening is your expenses go up, your profit margins shrink, and then you're stressed out, and you have to identify what's the missing link there, and it's all about people, right?
Right.
Finding the right people and pouring time and energy into